Hello everyone, this is Professor Lopez once again. In this video, I want to go solely over the syllabus / course policies for Biology 1306. Now, some of you may be taking this course as a face-to-face course. Some of you may be taking it as a solely online course. I will make sure to cover both sections as they're pretty similar. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, first of all, when you look at the syllabus, right off the bat, you're going to see a lot of my course information, which is also provided on Blackboard, as well as my student hours. You'll see that this is, of course, a lecture course. 1106, which is the lab, most of you are going to be enrolled in both. However, I want you to know that they are separate courses with a separate grade and separate assignments. So keep that in mind when it comes time to planning out your calendar. Now, you also have here the course description and course learning outcomes. I won't spend too much time, boring you with that information, but you can read that on your own. I've also stated here that the textbook we are using is Understanding Biology, 3rd edition by Mason. And we are using a program known as Inclusive Access. Some of you may have heard of this already. All it means is that you have access to a digital textbook through McGraw-Hill Connect from day one. And this has actually already been paid for through your tuition. So you shouldn't have an issue receiving a textbook. Now, on the course format, this may differ depending, again, if you're face-to-face or online. For those of you that are face-to-face, we're going to be following a lecture-based schedule, meaning if you are scheduled for Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday, we're going to be following that format. If you are an online student, even though you are online, I'm going to be sticking to my face-to-face schedule, meaning that different lectures will open up they will open up on a Monday and a Wednesday. So, for example, my first lecture for those that are in face-to-face is technically Wednesday, August 23rd. And so that is when you'll see your first content become available on Blackboard. I also want to mention that this is not a self-paced class, meaning that you're not going to see all the assignments open up at once and close it at the end of the class. They will open periodically, and I will show you, again, if you've seen the course tour video, you've seen that there is a schedule posted on the Blackboard shell, so make sure you refer to that to know when assignments are posted. In regarding to course communication and feedback, I'm just letting you know that I will do my best to respond to your emails as soon as possible. If you email me during the week, you should receive a response no later than 24 hours. If you email me on the weekend, obviously that's family time for me, and so I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, if not by Monday. Now, I do have a preference to how you email me. Make sure that when you do email me, on the subject line, you put your name as well as the course name and number and section. Okay, so for example, I had put here John Doe, Biology 1322-0001. Make sure that you become familiarized with what section you're in, so that way you can go ahead and email me with your proper subject line. Now here, of course, I put technology requirements that are necessary for this class. Obviously, I'm going to assume that if you are enrolled in an online class, you should be familiar with a lot of the technologies that we need to use, such as a computer, your operating system, making sure that you know how to use things like Microsoft Word and PowerPoint, things like that. You also need to make sure that you have a well-functioning webcam, as you will need to use a webcam for your proctored exams. Now, I've also provided a course outline, and what this does, it breaks down the content by units. And you see here that we will cover 5 units with a total of 13 chapters covered in this course. And each unit will have its own exam with the exception of Unit 5. The Unit 5 material will be part of the final exam. Now, the final exam itself is comprehensive, meaning that it will cover everything from day 1 of the class all the way to the last lecture. I've also provided a grading breakdown. You will see that 60% of your overall grade comes from exams. Each unit exam is worth 10%, and the final exam is worth 20% of your overall grade. I will drop your lowest test grade, okay? So just keep that in mind, but make sure that you still strive to do the best in every exam possible. And there is a possibility of up to 10 extra credit points, and I will let you know if there are extra credit opportunities as the semester goes by. Now, later on in the syllabus, I do cover a missed exam policy. That simply states that if you missed an exam and you have a legitimate reason as to why you did, then you can make up one single exam. Now, all exams are open for at least 1 week, with the exception of the final exam. So there really shouldn't be any missed exam issues because, again, you do have a lengthy amount of time to schedule or take the exam. Online quizzes, these are worth 15% of your grade. For every lecture, which we also refer to as a module in this course, for every lecture, you should expect to have a quiz that opens up immediately. So for example, our first lecture is August 23rd, or if you are in my Tuesday, Thursday class, it's the 24th. And immediately after you leave lecture, you should see a quiz open up on Blackboard. It says here that each quiz is at least 10 questions, and it should be completed on Blackboard, and it will be based off of assigned readings and the PowerPoint. And they will be available for 1 week after they are open. Quiz makeups are not allowed. However, I will drop the 3 lowest or missed quiz grades at the end of the semester. And very importantly, you will have 2 attempts for each quiz. So if you mess up on the first time around, you can of course review your answers, go back and study the material to make sure you reinforce the knowledge, and then go back and retry for a second attempt. And then we also have SmartBook modules. Through McGraw-Hill Connect, I will be using SmartBook modules assignments, which are pretty much getting you to read chapters of the book while also asking you questions pertaining to what you've read. So you obviously need to have a McGraw-Hill Connect account. There is a link posted on Blackboard, so make sure that if you haven't already done so, create an account for that. And those, of course, will open up as they state on Connect. And this is worth 15% of your overall grade. Lastly, you have assignments. There are going to be some assignments littered throughout the course in the semester, so make sure that you are aware of that. I will post announcements for that. Those are going to be worth 15% as well. Now, attendance. For those of you that are face-to-face, obviously I expect you to be there, but if you have more than 4 absences after the census date, I do reserve the right to drop you from the course. For those that are online, I will be monitoring how frequently you log into Blackboard. Obviously, I would like at least for you to log in once per week. If all it does, it takes you 1 day to complete all your assignments, then great. But if I start to see that you've gone a couple of weeks without logging on, then that means I also have the right to drop you from the course. So just keep that in mind. I've put some important dates to remember, such as midterm dates, finals dates, as well as the last J to drop with a W. If by November 3rd you feel like you're not doing well in the course and your grade is hovering in a low D, low C, and even an F, then it might be time to look in the mirror and ask yourself if it's possible for you to achieve the grade that you desire. If you feel like you can't, after consulting with me, then I would recommend dropping, because it is much better to get a W than an F in the course. I've also provided resources regarding proctorial. I won't read verbatim through this, but you can go ahead and take the time to read that yourself. And I've also put some information regarding the testing center. This is for those of you that maybe don't have a reliable computer or reliable internet connection, or maybe are lacking a webcam. If that is the case, I would recommend signing up and scheduling an appointment to take the tests. Since I provide a schedule for you on Blackboard, you should be aware of when these tests are scheduled. So just keep that in mind. I've also posted some very important rules regarding the test, such as what your environment should look like and what kind of behavior to avoid. Obviously, it says here you must take the exam in the same room that you scan during setup. No other person is allowed in the room with you. You must have good lighting. Do not take the test in the dark. Make sure that you are as quiet as possible with no use of notes, books, papers, or any other materials. And make sure that you also verify yourself with a photo ID prior to the start of the test. Dress appropriately, because you will be on camera. Make sure that your face is fully visible. I cannot state this enough. Your full face, not your forehead, not just your eyes, your full face must be visible during the entirety of the exam. No earphones or earbuds are allowed as well during the test. And do not leave the room at any time during the test. I cannot stress this enough. If any violation to any of these rules occurs, then you will receive an automatic 0 for that particular test. If your computer fails during the middle of the test, if power goes out, your internet goes out, contact me immediately so that I know that it's not because of anything fishy, but it's simply a result of something out of your control. Student conduct policy. This is pretty much standard, what you see everywhere else. Make sure you treat others as you would like to be treated yourself. Make sure that you don't cheat. Make sure you don't plagiarize. and be as honest as possible. We do have some student services available to you all as well. For those of you that might need accommodations, such as extended testing time, extended homework time, I can accommodate you. However, I do need documentation from the student services office. So I would email the email that I provided here and get with them and see about getting any accommodations. And then I will work with you as best as I can. So that is the syllabus for Biology 1306. Again, feel free to contact me if you have any information, or maybe you have a query about anything that I might have covered in this video. Best of luck again, and it's a pleasure having you. And if you need anything, feel free to contact me. Bye-bye.